I'm filming this on my living room floor because some days there's just no good place to film a video. And apparently no good time either because I'm like 12 hours late.
This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
The fact is, there are lots of ways to judge a book. You can judge a book by its cover, you can judge a book by its jacket copy. One of the best ways, for me anyway, to judge a book is by the opening page. To be very specific, the opening line, but I like to give a little bit of leeway. Mostly the opening page. But today we're talking about opening lines. For me, I know with Near Witch it was really interesting because the first line of the book in the first draft was, "The wind on the moors is a tricky thing." I was really emotionally attached to this line because it was the line that started the entire book, not just in the sense of the first page, but because it was the first line I ever thought of, and I didn't have a story to go with it. I just had this random line, "The wind on the moors is a tricky thing," and I sat on that line for like 6 months. I had no idea what it meant. So it ended up being the first line of the book, kind of almost out of default. I didn't have any other line, and I had this sentence, so I put it first. Then in revisions, it became, "This is the way my father told it." And the father's a really important figure in the book, and I thought it would kind of give you an insight into Lexi's, my main character's, head. The problem with that was that in addition to "This is the way my father told it" being the first line, you didn't actually get out of Lexi's head and into the main scene, the first scene of the book, until page 2 or 3. So in the end, the first line, as it stands right now, is it starts with a crack, a sputter, and a spark. And the reason for that was my editor and I went back and forth, and we wanted the scene to start in the physical. We wanted something to ground you in Lexi's physical space. And it also it was a compromise, or it was a collaboration. My editor wanted me to start in the physical, and I really wanted to start with a poetic line, something that intrigues. My rule when it comes to opening lines, whether it's the opening line of a chapter or of an entire book, is I want it to open a door. I either want it to open a door in the sense that it sparks a question, like, what is that talking about? And you find out with the next line that it's talking about a match. Or I want it to open a door directly into that world. I want it to be a really, really fast approach. I don't want to be eased into the world ever in my stories. I want to just drop you in. And I tend to favor the really short lines. They're my punctuations. It's like putting punctuation at the beginning of a sentence instead of at the end. It's something to catch your attention. So, it starts with a crack, a sputter, and a spark. That's the opening line of the Near Witch, and I'm really excited because next week I will be able to share the whole first page and a half of Near Witch. I can't wait to read it to you guys next week. I'm very excited. So just a few of my thoughts on opening lines, and I'm sorry that it's kind of late tonight. Hope you guys all have a good night.